So now, how did you meet him?
No, okay.
Or how did he become your guru?
Okay. So when I lived in London, 1972, I was working in London, and someone took me to a Hare Krishna movement.
Oh yeah, I've seen him in the airport.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a big guru from their lineage came to England to give 10 days discourses.
Right.
So the first day he arrived from the airport, some friends of mine were going. They said, please, you come with us and check this out. We don't know nothing about it, but he's from India and he's a big teacher, a guru, and he's talking. So we went there. There was at least 2,000 people in the hall, and he came, they introduced him, he gave a short talk, and then he was walking out. I was sitting on the floor on the aisle, and this man, he was about 45 years old, he came past me and he stopped and he said, please, you come and meet me after it's finished. So I went to meet this man, this Indian man, and so I was pure vegetarian.
At that point, you were already
I was already pure vegetarian, and I had a lot of questions. I was brought up with the Bible, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so I had a lot of questions, and he answered them. And then he gave me a mala.
And those answers,
I realized.
They felt right. They felt right.
I realized them.
Yeah.
When he said, I realized them. Why we shouldn't eat the cow, why we shouldn't eat the pig,
right.
Why we shouldn't kill the fish.
Right.
Yeah, you know, because I was struggling. There was not many vegetarians around in those days, and I was doing it virtually alone, you know.
Right.
So then he gave me a mala from India, and he said, you chant the names, the Maha Mantra, the Krishna mantra. And he said, you try and learn yoga. So I went back to see him once more after that, and then I never seen him again in my life. So I started chanting and I started to learn yoga. And then some years later, I started my journey from London. And I walked. I had to work. I had no money. I had to work on the way, buying gemstones, selling this, working in a hotel. And it took me 1.5 years to come to India, walking to India. Through Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, Turkey. I spent months in those countries studying their gemstones, because that was my love, you know?
Right.
So then, and then I spent almost 3 years wandering India, Himalayas, staying with the gurus, the jungle ones, because I don't like in the town and that, yeah?
Right.
And then I came here on a visit to make the jewellery, and one friend of mine, an Italian man, he said, oh, there's a great teacher out there at Swayambhu with a small ashram. You please come and meet this man. I was living in the jungle at Swayambhu, sleeping under the trees in the hills with a group of sadhus, you know? And then I'd already met many teachers, but I didn't take any notice, you know? They were no feeling. So my friend, he took me to see this guru. He had 20 disciples under a 6-year training program, and he was 10 years younger than me. And as soon as I seen him, his vibe was incredible, really clean. So I fell down and touched his feet. And then I said, oh, you please let me come and study. He said, no, you get out, you're a jungle baba. I was living in the jungle, smoking chillins with the babas and everything like that. And he said, this is no good. You go and do what you want. So I went back every day for about 2 weeks. Every morning I went, 5 o'clock in the morning, I sat down, I listened to him teaching the other students and everything. And then after 2 weeks he said, okay, you come and live with me, and you have to sleep with me, sleep beside me, you have to follow me. So at 3:30 in the morning, I was the first one he kicked awake in the morning, and I was the last one to go to bed. I was all day. So I stayed with him for some months, and then he gave me initiation. So he's my Guru Maharaj.
Okay.
He's
Guru
my
Maharaj.
number one teacher.
Okay.
My first teacher. So he, over this time, he gave me my yoga to do. He told me my whole characteristics of my birth time, what asanas I should do. He gave me my practice. He said, "You're not a learned boy, so you'll never learn Sanskrit. It'll take you 20 years to learn Sanskrit, so forget about it.
Okay.
All you have to do is learn your prayers. Same prayers, the Lord's Prayer and everything like that in English, but you have to learn all that in Sanskrit because the pronunciation is very important for these magical prayers, intonations or anything." So I done that, and then after a few months, he said, "Okay, you go." Man, I started crying. I fell down at his feet. I mean, it was the first father-teacher figure that I'd ever met in my life.
Right, right.
And that I'd stayed with. And he said, "No, you already know everything. This is an inherent in you. You understand everything. You go. You will go, first you go to this jungle, a jungle in India, and there you will meet a teacher. No name, and he will teach you the next part of what you have to learn." So I did. I came to India, I went to this jungle, and man, I walked into this teacher, and he, "Oh, my son, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. There's no letter, there's no nothing." So I sat down with him. He said, "You need to learn this part of your practice. So I will teach you. You stay here with me for 3 months, and I will teach you all this."
You mentioned that your start in your path started with the Hare Krishnas.
Yeah.
Did you deviate from them? Did you find that that was an introduction, but that's not way?
That's not the direction I was
that you went.
going. That's
Yeah.
not the direction I was
Right.
going.
So it got you moving in that direction, but you veered off of that.
Yeah. But when I came to India, I spent a lot of time with them. I worked on their big farm in India. In fact, 2 farms in India. And then I went to Australia, and they had just bought a new farm there. I bought the first cow for them for that farm.
Right.
No problem, but not my commitment. Their yoga is bhakti yoga, the yoga of love, the yoga of surrender and self.
I see.
Me, all my teachers told me I'm a working, I'm a karma yogi.
I see.
Yeah, I can teach and do it through working, you know, through teaching like that, you know. So, but yeah, very good. I was very happy with everything like that. But I remember in India in 1980, all the gurus from the Hare Krishna assembled there, and I done the farming, I taught the yoga, I done the farming, I could fix the motor creation.
Right.
In this movement, you know,
Right.
you can do many things, and I said, but my heart's not there, you know. I'm simply helping out, you know. That's what I say. When I met my guru here, he's much younger than me. He was 22 years with his guru. He had never had a cup of tea. He'd never had a cup of coffee. He'd never smoked a beedi or a cigarette. Nothing like that. He went with his parents gave him to his guru when he was 2.5 years old. They couldn't look after him, and he stayed 22 years with his guru, and then they sent him out to do his own thing. So he started his own line like that, and yeah, when I met him, wow, that was just overwhelming, you know, the joy emanating from him and his clearness and everything like that. And normally I don't fall down at somebody's feet, I think, but this one, within the first half hour, I fell at his feet and everything like that, and he simply told me, "Go away, go back to the jungle." You know, I mean, I was bare feet in those days and no shaving, like that. So yeah, so it took me a couple of weeks of going every day
to convince him that you were serious.
And then he said, okay, you come, but you stay with me and you do it, you know. So yeah, like that.
Now, how did you get to Nepal? What was the Nepal, the thing that prompted the move from India to Nepal?
No, it was part of a spiritual search, I think. We have a 12-year walk.
Okay.
Right around India and Nepal.
Oh, I see.
Of all the holy temples in each place, you know?
Right.
So yeah, normally you would stay with your guru for either 6 or 12 years. You would be like a servant. You would serve him and he would give you the knowledge and everything. And then when he sees you're ready, your practice is established, he will send you out. So the normal thing to do is you go and you do your 12-year walk around India and you visit all the holy...
And that walk includes Nepal?
That walk includes Nepal too.
I see.
We have many holy places here, like Pashupatinath.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then, but I was already living off my gemstones and everything then. So first I made a workshop in India. I got 3 jewelers together and tried to do in India, but they were no good. They couldn't do the export quality.
Right.
And they had no knowledge of working with precious stones, you know, and like that. So then when I came here in 1978, I actually took a job running a vegetarian restaurant here. And then I looked around and I had my first drawings of what I wanted to do, and none of the jewelers here could read those designs. They had no knowledge of that system of working. And after 3 months here, I met an old man who was due to retire, and he said, "Oh, I can make this for you." I said, "Okay, here's some money for the silver, you make for me." And he made this my first collection, and he taught his eldest son. Yeah, and then he had 2 more sons who also went in the jewellery business. So I set up a partnership with them. We had a little shop in Freak Street in the old days. Right. And we worked together for 18 years. And every year I would come, I would give my design, my silver, my gemstones to them, and I would work with them in those days, and we turned out the export quality.
Great.
Yeah.
It's been a long career, so you've been doing jewelry for a very long time, really.
33 years I'm making in Nepal.
Okay.
And before that I started studying the gemstones. I gave up all work for anybody else in 1975.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before then you were working for other people?
Yeah, I would do anything. Driving trucks, working in the TV factory, anything that came along. I would work for 1 month, 2 months, get enough money to travel on and do like that, you know. And then I decided, like in 1975, okay, this is...
Enough of that.
Yeah.